Hi, this is Kate. I'm going to be showing you today how to draw just a loose summer look for the summer on our template. First, we're going to start with kind of a scoop, sort of sweetheart neckline right here. And it's just going to come right, not too low, but low enough. Then we're going to do sort of a thicker sleeveless shirt that's going to come right to the edge, from the edge of the shoulders, just down to the underarm. And then if this were a real shirt, it'd be kind of like a silky charmeuse sort of loose and flowy shirt. So we're just gonna do these little chinks here and there, and that's just gonna give it some texture. So just give it some wrinkles, just to give some movement right here. So just some lines here and there. And then make sure the bottom is different heights, just little chinks here and there, just to show it has movement. And then remember, this shirt is not form-fitting, so you're going to just draw a straight line down right from there. Then you're going to draw some like khaki sort of pants that are kind of loose, but not really. So what you're going to do is you're just going to draw a straight line down, not conforming to the knees, but just straight down. Then they're going to end right above the ankles. Next, we're going to draw some just flat little cute shoes, just some really casual but still nice little shoes. So you're just going to draw a V. Then you're going to draw like a little box in the middle. And then we're going to draw some little poofs out, for the bow. So you can make this as big or as small as you want. I made these kind of big right here. And so that's what we're going with. Now we're going to give her a little bit of character with just some bracelets. And, this is just to show that, styling is everything. So give her a little something. Then we're also going to give her a little bag. And, I made the strap long enough so it could go over the shoulder, but she's just holding it in her hand right now. Just a cute little tote. Don't draw the other strap because it's going to be behind her leg. Now we're going to go everything in an ink pen. I'm not using an extremely wide pen. I'm just, mildly large. We're just going to go over everything and try to use straight lines, try not to break it up, especially with this shirt since it's, flowy. But, with different stuff, use different techniques. With this, as you can see, you do not want to make it straight across. Just little, like I said earlier, like little chinks, but just little humps here and there, and over the shoulders, and just straight down. Then just again straight down to the leg, straight down. I chose this silhouette because I figured, in the hot, you may want to cover up your legs, but, want to show your arms, so kind of a summery look, but, still kind of formal, so like I guess you go on a brunch date or something like this, Here I'm just giving her some pockets, and then I'm actually giving her little seam-looking things, like, so when you actually are doing seams on a pant, they definitely are not this big that you'd be able to see them. But I found that when you do them here, it makes the pant look realistic. So we're drawing seams here. And for the seams, I am just doing little dashes or little dots just to give it, some more realistic look, really. And I'm just doing little dots, dashes, not evenly spaced down the leg, and then just around the cuff of the pant. Now we're gonna do the outlining for the shoes, and make sure you start with the top of the bow, because you don't want to do the V and then have the bow look like it's underneath the shoe, and that just wouldn't look right. So make sure you do the top first. And here I'm differentiating a little bit from my original sketch, but the sketch is just the guideline, so if you want to do something totally different, that's a little crazy, but hey, it works. So I'm just differentiating a little bit. Now, if I drew the sketch and then did a dress out of it, that would be a different story, but I'm just altering the shoes a little bit, so it's not that big of a deal. And then I'm just going to do the tips of the shoe, and then, the tops of them real quick. Now for the bracelets, I'm just doing like a little chain bracelet sort of looking thing. So I'm just doing circles, and then I'll do 2 of those, and in the middle I'm putting just like kind of like a, I don't know what you call it, but just a really simple bracelet, basically just straight lines across her wrist. Then I'm making the bag have a chain strap also. So I'm doing circles again for this. And then I'm just going to outline the top of it. And then to give it a little more dimension, I'm going to just do the outer edge of it. So, give it a little more dimension. Then just do the bottom right there. And I think that's it. Now we are going to erase our lines. And this is very important because when you're coloring, if you have pencil lines still there, it won't look as finished. And with this, I suggest you use a knead eraser. Now, I'm not using one right this second. I couldn't find mine. But that's what I suggest using, because then you don't have so much problem with smudging and everything like that, which it really stinks whenever you smudge a paper. And especially with your ink is dry. And with the top, since you did some detail up there, what you want to do, and we didn't ink that, so what you would want to do is you would just lightly erase that part. So you can still kind of see it, but everyone else can't. So we are going to just do her skin real fast. And when you do skin, I suggest, if you're going really detailed, then that's entirely different. But since these models or templates or whatever you want to call them are mainly focused on the clothes, you just outline the skin and the clothes, and then you do what's inside the lines. And then remember with markers, I'm using Copic markers for this. You don't have to, but when you're using markers, it's always darker than it is in the real thing. So she looks very dark in this one and kind of brownish, and it doesn't quite look right, but so it'll dry and it'll look better in a little bit. She looks a little bit like she's been out in the sun for a little too long. But, no, it'll dry. And then for the top of the head, you never draw the top of the head in this sort of thing, because unless you have really complicated hair, which I don't, you just kind of do it with your marker and just make it however you want. So I'm not drawing, that way you have flexibility. Then with the darker skin tone, you'll just do the edge of the clothes, around the elbows, around the wrists, around the ankles, You can always just look at photos of real people and just show where the shadows are, and you'll pretty much know. But that's basically where I do it. Now we are going to start on the shirt. And for all of the accessories I do, except for, I think, the bracelets and the chain of the bag, we'll be doing a base coat, and then we'll be doing a more detailed coat. So with this, you're just going to draw over everything. And like I said, going along the edges of all the lines, and then drawing in the middle. And I usually say, just go straight down with your coloring. But with this, I'm going a little bit diagonal, and that doesn't really matter, but for me, it just looks a little bit more like it's moving. But with coloring, you'd never want to draw side to side, unless that's how your pattern is going. Otherwise, it look like your fabric is stretched around her side to side, and you don't want that. You want it to flow straight. So we're going to draw these shoes, then, that green color, same green. Make it a little bit matchy-matchy, but, that's okay. Then we're going to do the base of the pants, and you're just going to go over everything. Go over the pockets, go over little seam lines, everything. It just goes straight up and straight down. And we're just going straight down with these, not going side to side, not going diagonal, just straight down. Feel free to be really creative with your coloring on these sorts of things. I chose this one because this is inspired by Michael Kors, so he's kind of simplistic designs, but hey, feel free to go really crazy with your coloring because fashion is crazy. Now we're gonna go over those pencil lines with just my marker, and these lines don't have to be straight. Embrace imperfection. And so, if someone says, hey, your lines aren't straight, just say, no, it's just the movement, Just go with it, I don't have straight lines here, most definitely. So I'm just going to do some little lines here and there. Show it has a little movement. And we're done with the top. There we go. Now we're going to go in on the shoots, and we are going to do the little flaring out part of the bow in this same dark green that we did the shirt in. Now we're going to get these darker brown color, and this right here is for the detailing of the pants. And what we're doing here is we're just doing little dots along the bottom of the pant, and these are supposed to kind of indicate the seams, but don't worry about making them exactly on point. I'm certainly not, and it looks fine. So if that's what you want to spend your time doing, you go ahead, but try not to make this video 5 hours long. So then we're just going to do the insides of the pockets, and then we're going to do, since these are a little bit larger pants, they're not form-fitting, we're just going to go along the knee lines just to show that her legs aren't actually this big. These are just a little more baggy pants. Remember to be really light-handed with your marker when you're doing shading, because if you go too dark, then it really doesn't look good. Now we're going to add a little bit of pink here to the bracelet. Just a little pop of color, springtime, summertime. Then we're going to do the inside of the bag, this color. We won't do the outside, but, I love bags that have, different inside colors and outside colors. So, when you're designing these clothes, just make them like the clothes you like to wear and the bags you like to carry around, I'm doing the outside of this bag, this yellow color. And we'll be doing some more design on it a little bit later, so just let that dry right there. Then we're actually going to add a little more pink to the little boxes inside the bow, just to get a little pop of color. Again, a little bit matchy-matchy, but I think it looks good. Then I'm actually using the other end of my Copic marker just to do a very straight line up and very thin, up through the chains. And I did not draw individual dots because, don't want to make this video 5 hours long, and no one's really going to notice unless you get, microscopically close to it. For the bag, I'm doing these little circle flowers patterns, and I'm just doing it kind of like a little sweet tote thing, So feel free to do whatever you want as far as the design of the bag goes. You could do like a chevron or a tie-dye or a camo or a floral. You could do anything, and really spend a lot of time on it, So I'm just doing this here. But feel free to be really creative. I encourage it. And I'm filling up most of the bag with these little circles here. Now we're just going to take a light gray, I think it was the same one used for chains, and I'm just going to outline all these little circles circle flowers with this gray. Just do all the negative space right there. And this is just going to give it a little more of, give a little more to the design and make it look, give it a little dimension and make it look a little more realistic. And now the only thing left we have is the hair. And for the hair, I am going to do black. And because I love black hair, we're just going to do a cute bob. And for bobs, I just start with just doing a very simple, circular pattern. I'm going to give her a straight, kind of messy bang. And since she is, on the go at brunch earlier in the morning, or earlier in the day, just kind of tousled look, wind in the hair, walking down the runway, wherever you want this girl going. So yeah, and I think we're done. So remember to be really creative with your designs. This design, I took inspiration from Michael Kors. So feel free to look at other designers. Obviously you don't want to copy their design, but, take inspiration. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Give me some ideas, for other designers too. You can do that as well. You can download this template in a link below. And I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.